What is up, everybody? I am Kevin Iole, and I am joined by one of the familiar faces in MMA, one of the top coaches in the world. He has had world champions before, and who knows, on Saturday at Noche UFC, he may add another championship belt. Of course, I'm talking about Ray Longo, the coach of Merab Dvalishvili. Merab will fight in the main event at Noche UFC against Sugar Sean O'Malley for the bantamweight championship. How are you, Ray? Welcome.
Very good, man. Super excited. Starting to feel the nerves a little bit, which is normal. But I'm still in New York, so I leave Wednesday. I just want to get to Vegas and, get my feet wet over there.
Yeah, stay out of the hot weather. It's going to be 106 tomorrow and 105 on Wednesday.
I like it hot, Kevin. I like it hot like that.
So, yeah, if you like it hot, then get out here a day early because it is cooking here, baby. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Well, Merab opened this fight as a fairly sizable favorite, and O'Malley is now the favorite and moving up. Yesterday, O'Malley was a 6-5 favorite. Today, it's $1.30. It's moving in O'Malley's direction. Number one, does that surprise you that the public sentiment would be so strong in favor of Sean O'Malley?
No, it definitely doesn't surprise me at all. Look, this is going to be a weird fight. They both bring something completely different to the table than they've ever seen before, right? Like, I don't know if Merab has faced good strikers, but not rangy counter strikers that know how to move and are maybe a little harder to corner. Like Jose Aldo is a great striker, so was Marlon Moraes, but they come forward, so it makes it a little different. And I don't think, and obviously O'Malley's never faced anybody with the pressure in the gas tank of Merab.
Right.
So I think everybody knows. I mean, it's one of those fights, Kevin. Whoever controls the range controls the fight, and I think that's the winner at a very basic level.
I've always thought that, and I said this to John Morgan in an interview I did with him, I thought that O'Malley's footwork was so elite all the time. And it reminded me from an MMA standpoint of Floyd Mayweather, right? Floyd Mayweather separated from other guys by that footwork. But does that forward pressure a lot of times negate that kind of footwork? Because, you got to be so quick to turn your hips and get your feet in position.
100%. And if you look at it, look at the guys he's fought. With the exclusion of Aljo, right? I mean, he fought Marlon Vera, not even thinking of a takedown. Putino, not even thinking of a takedown. Whoever else never really fought that type of pressure before. Even Aljo's a different cat altogether than Merab.
Right.
So that's that's the unknown, right? That's what we're going to try to find out what happens with that. So again, it's a range thing. I don't know who's going to adopt easier to that range, and I hope it's Merab, but. That pressure going forward from Merab, because once he gets a hold in, he'll wear on you. He's not afraid of, it's not like there's guys like, look, I've trained a lot of wrestlers. They go in, if they can't get the takedown, they're out. They don't want to expend the energy. This kid just doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't. It's going to be over and over and over and over and over and over again. So he either has to be put out completely, or I think he's going to always be in your face.
Like the UFC, they push the graphic up and they say style, wrestler, BJJ or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, Merab's just cardio, right?
Yeah, that's it. You don't even put his style on him. Yeah, he's relentless, man. You've seen he's proven it. I mean, what he did to Peter Yan was crazy. He just shut down a really powerful striker. Again, the interesting thing to me is if Merab wants to stand in the middle of the octagon, does O'Malley engage him? He wants Merab chasing him, like he did with Aljo. So that could be a chess game right there. You don't know if let him come forward. Let him see what that's like. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of questions that'll be answered within the first couple of minutes of that fight for me.
Ray, one of the things I wonder, is it an advantage for you as a coach? You prepared Aljo to defend his title against Sean O'Malley. Now you're going through another camp. Having been in there with him and seeing his quickness and seeing him up close where you're sitting right there and knowing what he can do, even though you said just a second ago that Aljo and Merab are totally different types of fighters. But having, from a coaching standpoint, that firsthand experience of knowing what he brings, does that help you in make your game plan and devising what will and won't work for Merab?
Look, Merab's his own guy. I mean, Aljo would be better off handling that question. Look, he did his camp in Vegas, so John Wood would have a better understanding of that. I think Merab's going to do what Merab's going to do, and I understand that completely. And he relies on Aljo a lot for, those guys have been training partners, and, Aljo kind of raised that kid, to be honest with you. So he's the guy that would be able to answer that question. I think it does help, and I've talked to Aljo about it, and, we've had some good discussions on it, but I haven't really. I just know what the guy could do, and I just hope he did the right thing out there. Because I'll let you know Wednesday when I'm out there. But I think John Wood's got a great understanding. He knows he can't change too much, so I think he even said it himself. He tightened up a couple of things, which definitely there's things to be tightened up. And look, Kevin, Merab's the type of guy. Just point him in the direction of the fighter and just let him do his thing. You're not gonna change much, man. You know what I mean? And this is what got him to the dance so far, and I don't think you're gonna see any different. That's why I said that the onus is on O'Malley to be able to hold that range and see if he could do what he thinks he could do.
Right. Now, the one thing that critics of Merab will point out, and I want to get your take on this, Henry Cejudo, right? They're going to point out Henry Cejudo landed some clean shots on Merab early in that fight before Merab, like you said, I think the pace kind of took over. Henry hadn't fought in a while, and even though he was a gold medal winning wrestler, that pace finally even got to him. Which says something. But does that concern you at all when you see how easily a guy like Cejudo hit Merab compared to somebody who's a sharpshooter like Sean?
Yeah, no, of course it does. You got to be concerned with that 100%. But again, it's different body types, different range. Those guys were willing to sit in the pocket. I don't think Merab will do that with him. I think he'll be all the way in or all the way out. I hope he's not going to sit in no man's land, and I don't think he should get in those exchanges with him. I think he's got to be very disciplined in his defense, and I think he'll get what he wants.
I want to get your take. Dana White was critical of Merab for posting the video of the cut. Merab is funny, and he's a great sense of humor, and he puts a lot of funny things up on social media. But posting that cut, like I actually said to Dana that night, I said, well, you're talking about one of the most accurate punchers in the business in Sean O'Malley, and now you give him a target. Do fighters, in your opinion, know about cuts and know about things like that and target them as the fight goes on?
I think it would be, look, first off, is Kevin, like we're kind of like the same, or got to be around the same age. I mean, I'm not the social media guy, so I don't get it. But you have to expect this shit with these kids today. They film everything. They film tying their shoelaces. So he's been doing this. He's been a camera guy since the second I met him. He's crazy with the camera.
Right.
So, but look, if it was a knee injury, I would say that would be a problem. Now you're going to target something. He's going to get cut in the fight, or it is what it is. He's going to get punched in the face. That's not. Right. If he had a shoulder injury or another injury, I think it would be a way different thing. But a cut's a cut, and if it opens up, I don't think it'll have an impact on the fight. And I think O'Malley's, what's he going to do? He wasn't going to hit him in the head. I think that was Merab's point. I'm getting punched, and it means nothing to me. I think Merab's trying to get across the point. It's just he doesn't give a shit. He's that guy, and I'll take out my own stitches. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll jump into a pond that's frozen, and you're going to have to stop me. But this is the guy you have to stop, not a guy that's worried about, oh, I don't want to tell him this or I don't want to tell him that. I don't think he cares, to be honest with you. And he knows he's going to get hit anyway, and I think that's his mentality.
What does Merab, in your opinion, have to do to take his game to the next level, right? So like, look at the odds, right? At DraftKings, Merab by decision is plus 130. Merab by submission is plus 1,400. So basically, the sportsbook's telling you they don't think much of a chance of him getting a submission. By KO, plus 750. So basically, what the books are telling you is, hey, we think this is going to be a long fight, and Merab's only hope is to go 25 minutes and have the judges score his way. Do you feel like at this stage of his career he needs anything else? If he gets past O'Malley, there's Umar Nurmagomedov and whoever else is out there. I mean, there's going to be a lot of difficult challenges ahead, whether it's a rematch with Sean or somebody else. Does he have to add to his game, do you think? And is he at this stage of his career capable of doing that?
I think he's capable of doing it, but he does have to add some stuff, like you say, with the submissions. Not that he's got bad jiu-jitsu, but he fights the way he wants to fight. That's how he's been winning. So I think he could always tighten up the stand-up a little more, and I think he could tighten up, the jiu-jitsu. What he can't tighten up anymore is his cardio and his willingness to want to go in there. If he loves fighting, Kevin, like, I'm not worried about, like, even if he loses, he's got everything in perspective. One thing Dana was really wrong on, he called him a dummy. He's far from a dummy. He's very intelligent. He's a humble guy. He's got humble beginnings. He's fighting for his country. I mean, there's certain guys that type of shit means a lot. You know what I mean? And he's one of them. I mean, he's going to have to beat this kid dead. That I guarantee you.
Yeah, that's interesting. Last thing, I know you're in a kind of the dark like I am. I had a little peek preview of what the Sphere is going to be like.
Yeah.
But there's these giant LED screens, right?
Yeah,
and when I say giant, I mean,
wow.
They're going to be, you're not going to believe how big that is. And I wonder if in any way, as a coach, you are concerned about fighters, with that bright light behind and that big giant screen, where you have a different background now.
Right. I mean, look, I don't know. We'll find out. But the only thing I'll say, Kevin, is everybody's in the same boat. So, you can only control what you can control, and that they can't get. I mean, they can control how they react to it, and that might be the winner in the fight. But I don't really know much because nobody's really telling me much. So, but it's sounding crazy to me. Sounding crazy.
Did you go to U2 out here when you were in Vegas before?
No.
Oh.
No, it was good, huh?
Oh, I went to, not only did I see the U2, but they have a movie out now, right, of the U2. And the movie is so good that like 2 minutes into it, you think you're at the concert. You think that Mono is standing right there.
I definitely want to see it. But Kevin, just if
$100 for the movie.
Listen, if we cut out, my phone's gonna die, just so you know, and then I'll text you back.
So let's do this. Let's wrap it up right here. Give me your pick on the fight. How do you see it ending? And we'll get you out of here.
I see Merab 5-round decision. I'm going with where the odds are. I say he does the same thing he did to Peter Yan. It might take him a little longer to get there, but he's going to get there. And once he gets in that rhythm, I think that's what we're going to see. But I will say I wouldn't underestimate his punching power. You know what I mean? If he gets you a little hurt, but I wouldn't think that's what we want to do. But he does hit hard, and he is willing to take a shot. So that's out. The submission thing, I think they're pretty spot on. I can't see him unless he really rocked him or he beat him dead like he was doing to Moraes, and Moraes turns over and he grabs the neck and the guy taps. That's about it. But I don't think you'll see any sneaky submissions out of him. But I'm saying he's going to grind it out. He's going to take he's going to take a couple to get what he wants, and that's going to be the tune of the fight.
Can't wait to see it. That is the great Ray Longo. Ray, appreciate you as always. See you soon, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin, and good luck with everything in the future, buddy.
Appreciate you, brother. Show. Be well.
Thank you.